Good evening, Sumo fans. It is the evening of the 10th day of Sumo. What is today? The 23rd, Tuesday, the 23rd of July. And it was another hot day where I am in Japan, a hot day in Nagoya, and a pretty hot day of sumo action, I gotta say. Some really good matches today. I was able to get home from work and put up eight matches or so for the Patreon page and watch pretty much all of the top division. I wanted to watch a little bit of Jurio, but we'll talk about what happened down there. Kind of put me off my game. And well, let's just jump into it. We are sharing the screen and we are going to go into spoilers, spoiler fingers for day 10 of Sumo. And here we go. So let's talk about absences. And this is what threw me off my game. Maybe you already know. But Takeru Fuji, the Jurio 2 man who came back on day 8 and now left on day 10. So from what Murray was saying on the English play-by-play that I watched today, was that it was kind of a strategic come back and leave again type of situation. So he's in Jurio. He is at Jurio 2. So he had, no wins, obviously, over the first 7 days. Comes back on day 8, gets a win, on day 9. So now he's got 2 wins. And then he pulls out again. And I guess the feeling is he's going to basically, 2-1-7 here, but basically that means he's going to be 2-13. And at Jurio 2, that should be enough to keep him in Jurio. Maybe they'll demote him all the way down to the bottom is Jurio 14. So they would drop him 12 ranks. And that sounds about right. So he won't go out of Jurio into the 3rd tier division. Supposedly, it's not his ankle, though, which was what was keeping him from competing in May. It's a shoulder injury that he got in training that made him not able to compete here in July. And then he was like, well, it's better now. It's good enough. I'll come back on day 8. But then maybe he was feeling it a bit or just felt like he didn't want to make it worse. So that's the situation there with the man who won the whole shooting match in March in Isagahama Bay. All right. So other Jurio results really quick while we're down there. She lost for the first time. So to Hakuyozan, so he's now 8-2. He already has his Kachikoshi, but he is on the leaderboard. And at Jurio 10, he'll go way up if he can win the Yusho. If he just ends up with like a 10-5, that's not anything to sneeze at. That's a great record, but it won't mean a huge promotion. Hakuoho got another win to get closer to Kachikoshi. He's now 7-3, beating Tochi Takai, who got a Makekoshi, 2-8. Tsushima is also 1-9, so he's going back down to the 3rd tier division. Let's see who else. Shimazumi closer to Kachikoshi. Some of the leaders, Aoyama now 3-7. So any loss for Aoyama will be a Makekoshi. At Jurio 11, though, if he can go 6-9, 7-8, he can stay in the Jurio division. So he still wants to get wins. Shirokuma got his Kachikoshi at 8-2 down at Jurio 8. So congrats to him. Let's see. So Daiamami was the recipient of the free walkover win because Takeru Fuji pulled out. He went to 4-6. Jurio 1, Toki Hayate, still, plowing ahead, trying to get his Kachikoshi, go up to the Makuuchi division in September. He's now 6-4. He beat Tama Shoho. And probably the surprise loss of the day is Jurio 1 Onokatsu losing to Shimanoumi. So the wheels have kind of come off the bus a little bit. 3 losses in a row now since day 8 after what was a fantastic start and is now looking very normal, as it were, 6-4 record. So not on the leaderboard at all. And, kind of at the same situation, Jurio 1, Toki Hayate. They both are 6-4. Both just want to get their 8 to kind of assure promotion back up to the top division. And maybe, it'd be nice if they got 9 or 10 or, double digits is always wonderful. Uh, Anything above 8 is just a cherry on top, though, I think, when you're Jurio 1. Let's see. So the two Jurio 2 men are not going to go up. Jurio 3, Mitoru's 5 and 5. He still has a chance. The other Jurio 3 man, less of a chance at 4 and 6. So it'll be interesting to see who gets promoted. It could be somebody like Shishi. Like I said, if he just goes on a tear now and goes, say, 12 and 3 and wins the Yusho, you never know. Okay. So we'll look at the leaderboard later when we look at the leaderboard for the top division as well. But let's jump into the top division. Makuuchi action here for day 10. We started off with a Jurio 5-man coming up to fight Bushozan, but Bushozan got the win. The Maegashira 16, right at the bottom of the Banzuke, needs those wins. He's now 6 and 4. Hokuto Fuji beat Chiyoshima. Endo took out Chiranaumi. So this was important because Chiranaumi, was in the 2-loss group. He had lost to Asanoyama and Wakatake Kage, but now he's got a 3rd loss, so he's no longer on that leaderboard. And even that leaderboard is 2 behind the Yokozuna, right? Endo with the win there, go to 6 and 4. Nishiki Fuji 5 and 5, beating Ichi Yamamoto, who's now 5 and 5. Wakatake Kage got a win, now one closer to Kachikoshi, 7 and 3, beating Midori Fuji. Both guys only had 3 losses going into that match. It was a good match, too. That one's on the channel. Tamawashi losing to Takata Fuji. Ryuden getting his 3rd win over Roga. Shodai, the former Ozeki, getting a win over Kimbozan. So he's now 1 away from Kachikoshi. Tobizaru 5 and 5. Ura got a win, but still 4 and 6. Takanosho 7 and 3, 1 away from KK, beating Gonoyama. And then Takayumi 4 and 6 by beating Meisei, who's, now that's a losing record. Into the Sanyaku, Daisho beating Atami Fuji. 6 and 4 now for Daisho. I'm pretty sure he'll get his Kachikoshi and probably go up to Sekewake, depending on if slots are open. But Hiradaumi is in the same slot. He's at 6 and 4. Really good showing against Wakamoto Haru today. Abi beat Takakeisho. So this is, Takakeisho trying to get 8. So 5 days left, and he's got to win 4 of his last 5 matches. But there's one worse coming up. Hoshoru got a win over Shonanaumi. He's now 7 and 3, 1 away from Kachikoshi. And Kotozakura is the only person that maintained 2 losses and is the closest man to the Yokozuna. Now 8 and 2, Kachikoshi for him. He beat Sekewake Onosato, who definitely underperforming this tournament at 5 and 5 now. And we'll see if he can get his Kachikoshi. That's really his main focus now. And then we get to Kirishima taking on Teruno Fuji. So Kirishima has fought Teruno Fuji 11 times in the past and never beaten Teruno Fuji. And today was not going to be that day. This was his 12th loss in a row to the Yokozuna. And Teruno Fuji maintains his 10 and 0 record, or his undefeated record, I should say, adds a 10th win. And as you can see, these are the 2 guys, Kotozakura and Teruno Fuji, but 2-win buffer. And Kirishima now is in a worse spot in a way than Takakeisho. Takakeisho can lose 1 more match. Kirishima can't. Kirishima now is at 5 and 5. He has to go 10 and 5 to go back to Ozeki. So that means he has to win the next 5 days in a row without a mistake. And he's got to fight guys like Teruno, he fought Teruno Fuji already. Sorry, he's got to fight the other Ozeki and tough matches ahead. So it's very doubtful. He's probably just going to have to settle for hoping to get his Kachikoshi and stay at Sekewake, as opposed to going back to Ozeki. But, he hasn't sealed the fate yet. He still has a chance, as does Takakeisho. Okay, so let's look at the leaderboard, and then we'll do day 11 matches, what's coming up tomorrow. So Teruno Fuji all alone at the top. Then we have Kotozakura, a bunch of guys with 7 and 3 records. But you got to think they're almost mathematically out of it at this point. I can't imagine Teruno Fuji losing 3 of his last 5 matches unless, things just go really wrong somehow. Hoshoru, Takanosho, Shodai, Chirana Umi, and Wakataka Kage all in that 3-loss group. So, you're looking at, other than Hoshoru, who's an Ozeki, they don't get special prizes. Any of these guys could end up getting a special prize if they can keep winning and go, say, 10-5 or 11. Usually they like one more than 10. They want you to have 11 or more. So for a special prize. So if any of those guys can end up 11-4, they could get a fighting spirit or something like that on the final day. So yeah, we shall see. And Kotozakura, one ahead of Hoshoru in the Ozeki standings in a way, but more importantly, he can be thinking in his mind, okay, I can beat Teruno Fuji, and that'll give him 1 loss, but somebody else has to beat him other than me to give him a second loss, and all that does is make them even, and then there would be a playoff. And if they have Kotozakura fight Teruno Fuji on day 15, which wouldn't you make that the matchup? You know, he'd have to beat him twice in quick succession on Senshiraku. So yeah, uh, it's a tough ask for Kotozakura, but it's possible. But like I said, it's completely out of his control. He can beat Teruno Fuji when he faces him, and he has to do that, but he has to rely on Hoshoru or somebody else to beat Teruno Fuji as well. And then he has to obviously win every match, as well. So lots of permutations still to come. Down in Juryo, Shirokuma, the White Bear, and Shishi tied at 8-2 on the leaderboard now. That's kind of an interesting turn of events. And both men, lower ranked in the Juryo, 10-8, but a good chance. And as you can see now, Onokatsu not even on the board anymore. Hakuoho was 7-3, and Shimazu. But when you look at the top division, 8-2s and 7-3s is what we have up here. We just also have the Yokozuna undefeated. They don't have anybody dominating down in Juryo like that. Some people that are undefeated though down here in the 3rd tier division on the leaderboard there, and undefeated guys in as we go down. Enho, I don't know. Let's see if we can here. The way we can find Enho is he's in Isagahama stable. So you go to Isagahama, you go way down here, and here's Enho way at the bottom. Now let's see how he's doing. Okay, all right. So he got his Kachikoshi on day 10 today. He's now 4-1. They only fight 7 times, so 4-3 is Kachikoshi, 5-2, 6-1. So yeah, he can go up to 5-1 if he wins tomorrow on day 11, and then he's got one more match after that. So good for him. So he'll probably jump up into the 5th-tier division for September. We'll see how much he's trying to fight his way back. Okay, standings. Tom Cope and Tochi Notion's Butt Bandage, love that name, are tied with 40 points at the top. It's interesting that Tom has Kirishima, and he's still rocking it there. Wakamoto Haru and Takanosho, Midori Fuji Shodai, Wakataka Kage Endo. Then we only have one person in second place, Izumi Yaiba, and then only 3 people in 3rd place. And none of them have Asanoyama, so that's good. So there we go. And then 4th place is only 13 people, so it's still very much a fun ongoing battle here. And we've got people with Hoshoru, we've got people with Kotozakura, we've got people with Teruno Fuji. So yeah, a lot of Wakataka Kage. People, oddly enough, picking Shodai. I just don't know how you would pick Shodai most of the time, but hey, what do I know? Where am I now? Let's see. I was down in the 300s, so let's go way down. 9, 10, no. 11. Yep, there I am. So still about 360 people above me. With Asanoyama, it was going to always be tough not to slide way down. And my other guys are not really, I got Wakataka Kage, but Ryuden 3, Wakamoto 4, Onosatu 5. Yeah, I just didn't pick a good team this time. But congrats to the people that are in the hunt. And then, we need to look at tomorrow. Okay, final thing, let's do that. So looking ahead to day 11. Start down in Jurio, see if anything pops out. Aoyama down here fighting Nabatame, the rookie. Hakuoho has Miyogiru. He's a stalwart of the top division. He's got to be, yeah, he's been as high as Sekewake. Maegashira, and now he's down in Jurio. So maybe there's an injury there, some problem. Shirokuma Shishi. Oh my gosh, that's a big fight. Will I be able to tape that? I think I can set my DVR to get Jurio as well. I can try. Yeah, that's a big match. 1-9 versus 1-9. That's kind of cruel. Shimazumi Daishoho to go to get his Kachikoshi. And Onokatsu Tsurugisho. Okay. So they're putting the two leaders against each other. We'll have a sole leader after day 11 tomorrow. One of those S names, Shishi or Shirokuma, will be the sole leader. All right, up in the top division, Kageyaki. Ah, there's Tokakata. I was like, there's another guy that's 6-4. Okay, so he's been brought up to fight Kageyaki tomorrow. Wakataka Kage has Chiyoshoma. Who else? Endo still trying to get his Kachikoshi there. A lot of 5-5. Not a lot of great records, really. Chirano Umi, they pulled him all the way up to fight a Maegashira 6 tomorrow. Takanosho over Shodai. One of these guys will get his Kachikoshi tomorrow. Macy 2-8 against Ura 4-6. So the Komasubi goes against Atami Fuji. Wakamoto Haru has Daisho. Koto Zakura Kirishima. So that could be it, folks. I don't see Kirishima winning that match, and that would be a 6 loss. So we'll definitely be reporting on that tomorrow. Takikeisho versus Gonoyama. They threw him a softball there. Try to maybe get his 5th win. Abi has Hoshoru, and the Sekewake will now fight Teruno Fuji. Let's see really quick. Have they fought each other? He obviously doesn't have that many. Where is he? Sekewake. There he is. Okay, by opponent. We go way down to Teruno Fuji. Oh yeah, they fought each other a few times. Okay. So in January they fought each other, and Teruno Fuji won. Oh, that's right. They fought each other on day 1 in May. So he did fight him before Teruno Fuji pulled out, and he won. Okay, and then obviously he's gonna fight him on day 11. So yeah, he's faced Teruno. He's been in the Musubi no Ichiban before. So okay, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, so big matchup there. Can Onosato give Teruno Fuji his first loss? That's what Koto Zakura is hoping will happen. And of course, he's got to keep winning. And unfortunately for him, I don't know if they're friends, but, give Kirishima the loss. That will, seal his fate as being exiled from the Ozeki rank. So there's your day 11 matchups, folks. All right. Thanks for watching the Sumo Show with me. And I should be back tomorrow night. No reason I shouldn't be. And yeah, it's just too tired yesterday, guys. So thank you for being patient. Glad you came back today. So I will see you tomorrow for day 11 summary. And pretty solid, I think. I can't see a reason I won't have one of these every day all through day 15. Okay? See ya. Take care.